What is up? A little bit of a dirty tank update kind of thing. I call it dirty because it just has this dark color into it. It is a dark water tank. Almost, I call it dark water, but it's more commonly known as a black water tank. I don't call them black water tanks because black water, in my opinion, is when your charcoal gets out into the water somehow. I've seen some black water. This is like some tea-colored stuff, you know? We can call this chai water or whatever. But the snails, a lot of small ones and stuff, but that's okay. I've gotten a lot of the bigger ones cold, and I have noticed that my assassin snails are still crawling around in here doing their thing. So between them and the bochia loaches, or the yo-yo loaches, as they are also known as, the tank is clearing, it's doing well. You can see the Mopani wood and stuff without me having to do the backdrop and stuff. I know I did a video on this earlier. Once again, it's a bit during the daytime, so there's going to be a bit of a glare. So I'm going to move from that. And I'm going to show you guys up here on the top and everything. Plants are doing good. The anacharis is growing in super green, super strong. The shoots are stretching out. I am debating on getting another bundle, but the big shoots are putting out little shoots, and those little shoots are growing as well. So the anacharis is a plant, I believe, from South American area, and it can grow up to about 24 inches. That's kind of a more common thing. There's Summers right there. Hey, buddy. He's always hanging out at the top. This poor guy. I have videos of him being in this tank like about a year ago from here. And he was in the tank then as a younger betta. But these guys, big fin bettas like the Dumbo ears and stuff like this guy is. Summers is named Summers because he's a Cyclops. He only has one eye. And my favorite Cyclops is the one from the X-Men, Scott Summers. And I say this all the time, but I always have people checking out these videos and seeing what's up with this. So, because it's a growing channel, I'm always repeating myself so that you all can be caught up with the people that do know about what's going on. But you can see he's got little bursts of energy. He really just tries to stay calm. Those big fins. Imagine your whole life having them parachutes. If you ever seen a track runner train, the sprinters, when they have those little like parachute things that kind of puff out and make it harder for them to run, that's kind of what it feel like to a betta fish with big fins. Normally, I don't go for the big fin bettas and stuff. I like to do community fish. I specialize in bottom dwellers, guppies, mollies, live bearers, things like that. I found a way to kind of make a lot of these kind of creatures do well. My favorite thing to work with is probably invertebrates. Things like ghost shrimp, like you see right there, and certain types of snails. These kind of snails are jerks. That's an empty plant pot right there, because those jerks ate away at the base of this plant, and my water sprite is now against this. These stinky snails, man. I've been getting them by the handfuls too, my dudes and dudettes, but these things like to come back. They're tenacious. Malaysian trumpet snails, I believe, is the term. Malaysian snail, invasive snail, blah, 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 blah. So pretty much your two big species of invasive snails you're going to find in North America is going to be your trumpet snails or your Malaysian snails like these dudes. That can get a bit larger than that. These are babies. These are juveniles. And then also bladder snails. They have a roundish shell and kind of mimic what you think a very small mystery snail or apple snail would kind of look like. But these dudes right in here, they're not so fun. They eat a lot of stuff. My tank was planted so well, so many roots and everything. I have gone to getting this Java moss that I've kind of scattered across the bottom. It is doing so good. I'm so thankful I got that my job and where I'm at and what I do. I actually can kind of decide orders and stuff as the life department manager or pet care manager or whatever the exact term is. I pretty much am in charge of the animals there. And some of the times when you see those videos where it looks like it's in a store and I'm recording these animals, I'm either at the store I work at normally or one of the other locations that I help out with a lot because it's a little bit closer to my home. But the tank's doing good. I did some little fun video stuff with scabbers and everything. And otherwise, I mean, nothing much else going on right now. I am working a very weird shift tonight, so I will be doing a video tonight. Of course, I'll be respectful, and I'm not going to actually show the stuff in the job. I'm not going to go shouting out what the company is. It's a very small local company, and I don't want to give it a lot of hype or anything too much. I want to represent my company and the place I work for with respect and care. So with that, I'm not going to say what I work at, or not where I work at, but what I work at is a pet store. And I am happy for that. I used to work with PetSmart, a corporate pet store. Corporate pet stores are rough because they honestly... Too many animals. Too many animals. At this point in this video, I can see that I'm about 5.5 minutes in. I would say it's safe to start talking about stuff that I refrain talking about, only not because of the store itself. No, not. But this is animal care at its worst. The only people that get it worse than us are people that have to deal with human lives every day and the death and decay and diseases that they have and stuff. I deal with the animal side of it. I've dealt with the animal side of it. And I'm going to give you all a moment. If you're a bit squeamish and you don't like to hear certain things, I'll let you go for a second. Thank you for watching to this point, though. You have my extreme appreciation. And I'll give you a moment to step off if you don't want to hear some gross stories about what it'd be like to work with animals. Why I keep saying animal care is both rewarding and just, oh so, it can hurt you. So, I think I get enough time. If you're still here, your fault. I have seen prolapsing. Prolapse is when pretty much the animal is bleeding out of its rectum, essentially. Like something inside of its intestines or something bursted. It is leaking blood profusely. I've seen hemorrhaging. I've seen seizuring. I have seen hamsters kill other hamsters and eat them. I've seen half-eaten hamsters in enclosures when we go to check on something, because overnight they would get in a fight and they would kill each other. And hamsters are omnivorous. They're rodents, all rodents, including chipmunks and squirrels and stuff like that, are omnivorous. They eat both meat and, well, I wouldn't say meat, but protein and plant matter. There are some exceptions to this because stuff like capybaras and guinea pigs are rodents, but because of where they live, they've opted for a more vegetarian diet. You can give them stuff like nuts and things like that in a certain degree. You don't want to give them too many seeds or nuts because it's fatty, but they can process proteins. And the reason, if guinea pigs and capybaras were in a different environment, they would probably be omnivorous. Tortoises and stuff, turtles, have been seen snagging birds and dragging them in the water. So you'd be surprised how much things that we think eat nothing but plants eat other animals too. You can talk about sheep and cows for the same reason. Sheep in certain areas of Europe, I believe it might be New Zealand or something, there's a bird that'll nest, and sheep will go around and eat the baby birds. You know, they will, and it's been shown they seek this out. When they feel like they need their proteins, they will seek out smaller, weaker animals and eat them. And that's a sheep. Cows will do that with snakes. Chipmunks and squirrels have been seen eating on snakes. In fact, in the wild, we had seen, I believe it was an orangutan, using a venomous snake to help treat an issue. And we've also seen stuff with plants and stuff, like primates grinding up plants and rubbing it on wounds and stuff. It's amazing out there in nature, but I got sidetracked there. Sorry about that. But my thing is, animal care can be tough. It can be very, very rewarding, but it's so sad once you lose something. My bunny's passing was rough. Everything was failing her, and for 3 days in a row, I was hearing just because her sinuses, her urinary tract, everything was failing. And even with medicine and stuff to help numb the pain, it's just... So, love what you got, and know when it's their time, do your best to just make it as painless for them as possible, but things go rough. There are times you can't explain something and an animal just leaves you. because it's their time. So, just want to talk about that right quick, let you guys know something else that drives me about this channel. You know, I've seen the worst. But I haven't given up on taking care of animals, even though seeing the worst. And anyone who's a caretaker, whether for animals or people, which bless you if you're a medical professional and you're working with people. And yeah, you're just good peoples, because you see I'm starting to tear up a bit just talking about the animals and just thinking about the animals I've seen. So, love what you got. Take care of it, because what you give does come back. Even if it's taking care of animals, nature, stuff like that. We need those people. Because we have a lot of people who are good with computers. We need them too. We are a community, a world community for a reason, you know? We should be building each other up. So, thanks for listening for today. It was just a fun little rant video thing. Had a lot in my mind right quick. Just want to shout that out. And at the end of this, more cute animal video stuff. So, as always, thank you for liking, subscribing, and commenting. And if you watched up to this point, you are just some cool peoples as well. Peace out. Have a good one. Enjoy the shorts.
It looked like you ate up all your stuff, buddy. Hello. Whoop, my arm's in the way. Hello. What you doing, friend? You just wanted to say hi? Hello. What you up to, buddy? I have nothing for you. Yeah, I have nothing for you. He's always checking my hands for foods. Usually what I do is I open my palm, because usually my fingers might have some smell on them. I don't want him being confused. He is very funny. You cannot stick your fingers through the bars in his enclosure, because if you do, Buddy will nip at them because he thinks that you're giving him food. He gets food all the time through the bars. Yes, you do, friend. Yes, you do. Here, let me get you something. One moment. And this is why you can't stick your fingers through the bars. Hey, buddy. Whoop, you got that? Oh, I'm sorry. Here you go. There you got it. If I didn't drop it the first time, I also have this piece of French fry. This is a French fry I got from my parents. I went to go eat dinner with them yesterday, and they cooked up some burgers and some chicken sausage and some French fries over an open fire. They got a new fire pit that has some nice little grill function to it. So, of course, I'm going to share that with this little guy right here. He is enjoying him as being a sausage, though. Yes, you are, buddy. Look at you go. Look at you go. I'm telling you guys, duckweed's amazing. I didn't even put that much in here, and it's already growing like this, man. It's not how it was. The roots aren't as super long. But also, like I said with the waters, if you see right there, yeah, there was some mosquito larvae and so on. To be honest with you, I'm not going to do much with that. I'm just going to kind of let that be because the plants and stuff and the snails and things in there. What I might wind up doing is, if need to be, I have some 10 gallons, and I can introduce some, a minnow or two, but I don't want to do one at 10 gallon. It would probably be more like a 20 gallon or something if I do that for that. Technically, I do have a 20 gallon, so we'll see what happens with that.